Before I talk about some of the biggest video game news this week, I do want to take a small moment of appreciation for Mega Victory Bell here. Look at this Pokemon. That is the face of a champ right there. The official Pokemon YouTube channel titled the reveal of this Mega Evolution as Mega Victory Bell Raises a Stink. Oh yeah, it's raising a stink all right. Raising a stink in my heart. This was a very big week in gaming. Sakurai is back, baby, and he is sassier than ever. Then there's Gamescom, opening night live, the big Keighley show. Felt like Summer Game Fest 2025 Part 2, the anime game strike back. And then there's, of course, Silksong. We have a release date. Of course, not at the time of recording this, but by the time I'm editing it, it will have a release date. It does. It's a big week. I feel like I've seen at least, I don't know, maybe 50, 60, upwards to 80 video game trailers this week. Some of them really, really good. Some of them really, really, whatever this is. Now, as much as I like seeing a tank do an Akira slide, I don't know, it just feels a little fluffy to me. And that's kind of what ONL as a whole felt like. It kind of had all of the same trappings that Summer Game Fest did. It felt big and bloated, and there was a lot of games that looked similar to one another. I swear to you, there's gotta be at least 24 anime games at this show that all look... I don't want to offend anyone here, right? I know there are people that like anime. I like anime. But these games look bad, guys. These games, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal, man. I truly don't. Does this look fun? Do these characters look cool? I don't get it. I really don't. And there's so many of them. There's so many of them. Capcom had a big showing. I think Keighley has some kind of blood pact with them, right? They had a really big showing here, as well as Summer Game Fest, as well as the Game Awards. There's something going, some kind of shady deals are being made, right? There's some dirty dealings happening behind closed doors. He probably just has a good relationship with the studio, to be honest with you. But yeah, Capcom had Wilds DLC. We can ride chocobos in this game now. That's awesome. And Resident Evil 9 was here. I honestly think that RE9 is kind of struggling to find its identity or find its hook, right? I think Village felt exciting right off the bat because we see a castle, we see a big vampire lady, and we were just kind of sold right away, right? This game had a very strong visual identity right off the bat, where I think Requiem is, I don't want to say stumbling, or, you know, I think it's going to be a fantastic video game. It just feels like they're not fully showing it off yet, right? They're not ready to do the full blowout. I think maybe we get a big trailer at the Game Awards. Maybe we get a big trailer during like a PlayStation State of Play or something. Something's missing, right? Something's not quite adding up. Again, I don't think this trailer's bad. I don't think the trailer's good, though. I really don't. And I actually didn't even like the reveal trailer very much either, if I'm being honest. Like, I just don't think this game has had, like, doesn't have that oomph the way Village did right off the bat. I'll tell you what does have oomph, though, and that's Onimusha, baby. Onimusha looks fantastic. Every single time I see this game, I get a little bit more excited. And they've been kind of just trickling out trailers, right? When is this game coming out? Like, we know that RE9 is in February. Like, Onimusha's got to be, like, right in front of that, right? Got to be, like, March? April? Probably May, right? It's going to be May. Another video game trailer that is extremely fluffy is the new Black Myth game, Zhang Kui. Now, this trailer to me, it kind of works. I don't know. It was a really good show ender. It felt like Game Science making a statement, you know? We earned this moment. We earned this CG trailer because of the millions and millions of copies we sold, because of the strong vocal fan base that we have now. And like, this is their statement saying, hey, we're here to stay, right? We're going to keep making these games. See ya at the Game Awards, man. They're going to do it. And I'm not even a fan of the original game. I haven't played it. I'm not particularly interested in it, to be honest with you. But Game Science as a whole, I don't know. It does feel like a big moment for the studio, and it kind of worked. I think it worked as a show ender. But again, as a whole, there was just so much fluff during the show. There were so many CG trailers. There were so many anime games. There was so just crammed with stuff, jam-packed. It's like a biscuit container just ready to pop. And it never did. It never popped. It never had its big wow, I cannot believe this moment. And I think that's something that Keighley and I think anyone designing a show like this should look for. You know, we should try to find that thing that pops. Resident Evil 9 didn't do it. Black Myth just didn't quite do it. I think Batman, the Lego Batman game, probably had the biggest pop out of everything. And I honestly think the Lego Batman reveal worked so well because it wasn't just fluff, right? Someone got on stage and explained the game. Talk to us like we're not just a bunch of consumers, right? Talk to us like we're human beings and saying, hey, here's why we're making this game. Here's why you should be excited about it. We're doing all the Batman stuff, right? All the comics, all the movies. We're revamping combat. It's open world. Here's some gameplay right behind us, right? It's exciting because we understand the conceit here, the reasoning behind the game. And I just feel like that was lacking a lot in the show, and what's lacking from Summer Game Fest as well, and why I kind of still miss E3, right? E3 had those moments where someone would get on stage and say, hey, I'm the lead director on this, and here's why I made this video game. And here are the things that make this video game cool, you know? And a lot of these trailers, they don't really speak for themselves. We saw Routine, which was like this really realistic looking horror game. It looks cool, but does the game look fun at all? Like, what are we doing? There was just so many trailers like that where it's like, this looks cool, but is it fun? And I didn't feel it. There was a lot, I wasn't feeling the fun factor there. And I think Batman, again, weirdly, did the best at showing off the fun factor. Now I'll move along to something that had zero fluff and maximum fun factor, maybe? Question mark in parentheses. Kirby Air Riders. This is a Sakurai Presents, right? We haven't had one of those in quite some time, especially if you haven't like checked out his YouTube channel. It's been a while since we've seen Sakurai talk about a video game. And God, it feels so good. I just love the way this man speaks to me, right? This thing literally opens up with him saying, my goodness gracious, video games are so hard to make. He looks tired, but he's here having a good time. He's excited to show you his new game, and you feel that immediately. He's not reading from a teleprompter. This doesn't feel entirely scripted. It feels like a real person showing off the hard work that they put into their game and the reasoning behind that hard work as well. He literally explains why this game exists at all, which is fascinating, truly fascinating. He breaks the fourth wall, right? We're not just a brand. We are people making these games, and here's why we chose to make it. And it's just, again, super fascinating and just wildly entertaining to watch. It feels like we have we're peeking through the window or the door into like what game development is like at Nintendo. So if you didn't watch this direct, just like Smash Bros, Sakurai here, the lead game director, basically explains pretty much everything we really need to know about this game at this time, right? He's talking about the courses. He's talking about all the different vehicles. He's talking about all the different characters. He's talking about all the different modes, City Trial, why City Trial's here, why it's fun to play. He goes through a round himself, right? He goes through a whole City Trial round. He goes through a whole race and like comments on it too. Like, here's what this is the fun part, right? We added rails here so that way you can get up here, and kind of explains the design and again, the conceit behind the game. And that to me, and I'm not just here picking on Gamescom, right? Opening Night Live. I know Gamescom is much bigger than just Opening Night Live. Just in general, how games are shown off to potential players is backwards to me. I really do think that if a game developer just sat down and just explained the game to the player, I think more people would be excited about the game. It's okay to chill out. It's okay to just sit here and just legit play the game. Like, hey, how's it going? This is my brand new game. Let me show you why it's fun. Like, what's wrong with that? Why can't we do more of that in game development? It's so bizarre to me that Nintendo doesn't experiment with that more, or that any other studios don't. It's maybe there's like some kind of law, right? Maybe it's like an NDA thing. Maybe it's hard to have builds that are able to be played this way. I don't know. I find that hard to believe. I really do. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to do that. Look, I grew up with E3, right? These big press conferences, 2-hour long Xbox press conferences, Don Matrick talking for what feels like an eternity. I like this stuff. I like Gamescom. I watched the whole thing. I skipped through a couple of the anime games, though, I'll admit. I did skip through a couple of those. I enjoy big trailers. I enjoy even CG trailers. I think that there is a time and a place for that stuff, right? Kirby is coming out soon. This is not how Kirby was revealed. I mean, it feels like this is basically how it was revealed, right? But we saw a small trailer and now here's the game. Let me show you how it is, right? I just think that more games should be shown off this way. Like, it would be so cool if, like, the next time we see Marvel Tokon and they reveal a new character, it would say when Jubilee, right, is going to be revealed, you just have the lead game designer just showing you how to play the character. Like, why not? Sakurai did it. And those are just wildly entertaining and get crazy viewership too, by the way. Like, what if we just 45 minutes, here's me playing as Jubilee. Here's all the cool combos you can do with her. Here's some of the references that we took, right? Here's some of the reasons, like, this is from X-Men 97. We did this stuff here. Like, I don't know. That would be so cool to me. There's a time and place for sure. I wish they would experiment more, right? Big CG trailers like this, seeing tanks do Akira slides is all fun and dandy, for sure. I don't know. I think after seeing so many big bombastic shows, I kind of like the more laid back approach. I could legitimately talk about all of the trailers that were at Gamescom for hours. It was a fluffy as hell show, but it was fun, right? Even the bad trailers were fun. I could talk about it for literal hours. It was so hard to pick the little things that I wanted to talk about, but it was fun to do so nonetheless. Make sure to comment down below and give me your thoughts on Sakurai's approach on how he shows off games, on Gamescom as a whole. What games are you really looking forward to that you saw at Gamescom? Are you really looking forward to Kirby? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to check out the links down in the description. My Discord is there, the airship. That's where you're going to get schedule updates, video updates, and we can just hang out and chat. I ask questions down there that you can answer. We can just, I don't know, be friends or something. I don't know, maybe that can happen. And also check out my Twitch. I am streaming every single week, multiple times a week, believe it or not. Playthroughs. I stream Toontown. Why? I can't believe I streamed Toontown. Why did I do that? Thank you so much for watching this week's entry of Critical Chat. Like and subscribe. And until next time, party on. I am genuinely shocked that I get to live in a reality where Bubsy 4D gets to exist. I truly cannot believe it. I grew up playing Bubsy. I had Bubsy on the PS1, a truly abhorrent video game. One of the worst games I've ever played. It controls horribly. It looks like dog shit. And somehow Bubsy's still alive and thriving today, right? Like, usually when you put out a game that bad, your franchise is kind of tanked, right? But somehow Bubsy's just remained in the zeitgeist of gaming. I think it's YouTubers that have kept it alive, right? Let's Players and people like Angry Video Game Nerd that just like thrive off of shitty games that have just kind of kept this game alive and kept this IP afloat for so many years. And now there's re-releases, right? Now there's nostalgia for it. So now it's hitting a little bit harder. And this trailer is, man, look at this game. Look how good this looks. Look at these screenshots. This looks incredible. It somehow like holds the identity of Bubsy 3D, right? It like vaguely looks like it. It has even more catitude. I didn't think that was possible. Look at this furball. I can't believe this exists. And it's being developed by Fabraz too. This is the developer behind Demon Tides. I've talked previously about that game. It looks incredible. He was teasing a big announcement at Gamescom, and I thought it would be a Demon Tides release date. I'm still waiting on that. I cannot wait to play that video game, but this was one of the biggest surprises out of all of Gamescom, to be honest with you. And it was how the show opened. It was the very first trailer. The very first ounce of gameplay we see is Bubsy. Is this guy. We see him right away.
Remember me? Your old pal Bubsy?
Oh my God.